you, dear friends. Thank you, lovers of mathematics. I am Tutor Cletus Okoli, and I come today with the given Olympiad question as written on the board, which is if x raised to x minus 2 raised to 3x plus 192 equal to 0. I am expected to get the value of x. Watch till the end, subscribe to my channel, like my videos for your friends to have access to my video. God bless you. We dive in. Now, the question given, we take a solution to it. X to the power x minus 2 to the power 3x plus 192 equal to 0. The first step I want to take, I want to move minus 2 to the power 3x plus 192 to the right hand side. And when I do that, the minus will now change to plus, and I will have it written like this: x to the power x equal to 2 to the power 3x plus 192. This is the way it is. So the negative has turned to positive, having moved it to the right hand side. Beautiful. Now, from the exponent side of the right hand side, you will see that I have there 3x plus 192. But something is common. 3 is common. If I factor 3 out, I will now have x plus, and of course 3 divides 19 will give me 6 remainder 1. Divide 12 is going to give me 4. So therefore, if I factor x out from this 3x plus 192, I will have it written as 3 into the bracket x plus 64. That is what I will do here. So I have to factor that 3 that is common in the exponent side of the right hand side of the equation. Now we write it as x to the power of x equal to 2 to the power of 3 into x plus 64. Beautiful. That is where we are now. We have now factored what is common in the exponent. But then 2 to the power 3 is 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, which is 8. Therefore, permit me to write 2 to the power 3 as 2 to the power 3, which is 8. Then I have x plus 64. Very good. At this point, I can now apply the law of indices, which is the multiplication law of indices. And it says, if I have a to the power of x plus y, it is a to the power of x multiplied by a to the power of y. This particular law is a very beautiful one to be used by the right hand side of this equation at this step where we are now. Therefore, applying this law, I will now have my question written as x to the power of x equal to 8 now can be written as 8 to the power x multiplied by 8 to the power 64. Very good. I've applied this law. My a here is simply 8. And my x plus y is the same thing as here, x plus 64. So, writing it the way the expression has put it by the right hand side of the law of indices, multiplication law of indices, it will now be written like this. Good. Next thing I want to do, I want x to move to the one side, okay, of the equation. So I will divide all through by 8 to the power x. The reason is because I want x to come to the left, and numbers without x will go to the right hand side. And doing that, I have x to the power x all over 8 to the power x is equal to 8 to the power x multiplied by 8 to the power 64 divided by 8 to the power x. What I'm doing at this point is that I am dividing both the left hand side and the right hand side by 8 raised to x. And when it is done on both sides of the equation is still intact. You know, math is life. Alright. Now, from the right, 8 to the power x is at the numerator and also at the denominator, so I can cancel the 2 out, leaving me with 8 to the power 64 by the right, but also by law of indices. If I give you a to the power x all over b to the power x, it is equal to a over b all to the power x. This law now is very good. We are going to apply it to the left because at the left hand side the power is x and the denominator also has a power x. I can now write it as x all over 8 all to one common power, which is power x, and that is what we have now in this step. X over 8 to the power of x equal to 8 to the power of 64. Beautiful. Now what next will I do? I have in mind of a law in indices that says if I have a, okay, let's put it well. There is a law in indices that says if I have a to power a equal to b to power b, b to power b, therefore a is equal to b. That is, when the base is the same as the power, and by the left hand side the base also is the same as the power, it means the bases are equal. The basis becomes equal. Therefore, what I want to achieve now, from here, the base here is x over 8. That is my base. And the power is x. By the right hand side, the base is 8. And the power is 64. I want a way I can have the base and the power the same. And so that by the left hand side, I will still have the base and the power the same. So that I can now make use of this law. And the only way to do that, I know this 8 as a number is the same as 64 over 8. You know, if I divide 64 by 8, I will get exactly 8. So I will represent this base, which is base 8, to become 64 over 8. Meaning that x all over 8 all to the power of x will now be equal to 64 all over 8 all to the power of 64. Now look very well. 8 is the same as 64 over 8. But if you look at it now, what I have inside the bracket is 64 over 8 raised to the power 64. Something is comparable here. 64 as the numerator, 64 as the power, 8 as the denominator of the base. 8 as the denominator of the base. 64 as the numerator of the base. Then the power of the whole thing in the bracket is 64. Now come to the left hand side. The power is x. The numerator of the base is x. And the denominator is 8. Therefore, the denominator of the base is 8 by the left, 8 by the right. Now, the numerator of the power, the numerator of the base is x, and it has also x as the power. Now, the numerator of the right hand side, which is the base of the right hand side, is 64, and the power is 64. Now, see it, x power x, that is numerator of the base, x, the power of everything, x, numerator of the right hand side, the base of the right hand side, 64, and the power is 64. It is now comparable. The denominator 8, the denominator 8. Therefore, we can simply say that something is common. And what is that is common? The power x is equal to the power 64. Or 8 over x, x over 8 is equal to 64 over 8. We can now say that this base is equal to this base and the power is equal to the power. So whichever way you put it, both of them are comparable and the same. Taking the base to evaluate, it will be x over 8 equal to 64 over 8. Or you take the power, which is x, directly equal to 64. But from this, can't you see x over 8 equal to 64 over 8? So this is over 8, this is over 8. So x is equal to 64. In conclusion, the value of x is equal to 64. We are going to apply the value of x equal to 64 into the given question to see if it will be equal, okay, to 0. Check result. Check result. We are done solving for the value of x as required by the question. We are done. Math is life, honestly. Therefore, what I will now do, I am given x to the power x minus 2 to 3x plus 192. I want to see if it will be equal to 0 when I replace the values of x equal to 64. What will I now do? I can now do 64, which is x, to the power of 64 minus 2. I want to factor here as 3 into x plus 64. This is where we did that. Okay? 3x plus 192 is the same as 3 into x plus 64. So that is what I have repeated. But now I will replace my x here as 64, which is 64 to the power of 64 minus 2 to the power of 3 into x, which is now 64 plus 64. We want to see if this will be equal to 0 for us. We want to see, after solving this left hand side, if it gives us 0, it means our answer for x is equal to 64 and correct. Therefore, now, here I have 64 raised to 64 minus 2 raised to the power x is 8. We have already done it here. That 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 3. We wrote it here as 8. So I will still write it as 8. And what I have here now is 64 plus 64, which is 128. We want to see if the whole of this will be equal to 0. Therefore, 64 to the power of 64 minus 128. 128 is the same thing as 2 multiplied by 64. Very good. So I can now write it as 8 raised to the power 2 multiplied by 64. Is it equal to 0? So 64 raised to 64 minus 8 raised to the power 2 means 8 times 8. Sorry, yes, 8 times 8, which is 64. So I can still write 8 to the power 2 as 64. Then also raised to the power 64. Is it equal to 0? Yes, because 64 raised to the power 64 minus 64 raised to the power 64 is equal to 0, which is equal to 0. Beautiful. In conclusion, our value of x is 64. Very correct answer, 100%. Thank you for watching the video to the end. Like my video for more access to my videos in the channel, and then subscribe if it is your first time of watching my videos. God bless you.